Hello and welcome to episode 21 of the Shobocast. I'm Paul.
I don't want to be here.
Same.
Anything else to say, Paul?
I said I'm Paul.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the
And then it's
Shobocast.
your turn to introduce yourselves.
This is the Shobocast, a podcast allegedly about Doctor Who. I'm
No, it's
Dan.
not.
No,
I
it's not
am
really.
Paul.
Is.
I am John.
And that's all the hosts of the podcast. Cameron is-
So this week
How
we're
have we got to
talking
21 episodes when
Oh,
this
God
is how
knows
we
how.
intro?
God knows.
because, if anything, the intro gets worse every time.
It will just devolve into episode 50 will be hello and welcome Shobocast.
Stephen
Today we're talking
and Jim
about
and
Doctor Who
Hermione.
and Five Doctors is episode and viewers' thoughts. Goodbye.
Yeah, to be honest, you
Yeah.
say that, but that's not much better than what it currently is.
Yeah, it's much quicker, streamlined.
We keep saying we're going to streamline it. We'd
we
never
never
do.
do. It gets worse every time. Yeah, Doctor Who is a podcast. How are you?
Doctor
How
Who
have
is
you
a
been?
podcast.
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who is a
isn't a podcast, though, then?
Are you sure?
Well, no, I'm not.
Have you checked?
No, actually.
You could
That's
class
what I
Big Finish
thought.
as a podcast.
No, you
Are
can't.
we Doctor Who?
Am I the
maybe
Doctor?
Doctor Who was the friends we made along the way. Paul, how's your week
Maybe
been?
Doctor
How's your
Who is
week
all
been?
of us.
Oh my god.
Many of my weeks have been very good, and many of them very mediocre.
Of all of the weeks
But
since
we don't
your
want to know
birth
about
and now,
many of your weeks.
which
We want
one
to know
was the best?
this one.
Which one was the best? The one where I had the Zoom call with Russell T Davies.
Yeah, that would probably be mine.
Yeah. As for this week, I've just been doing uni work all week.
Godly.
I know, yeah.
Go on, how about you? No, sorry, Paul, you didn't even finish what you were saying.
No, I did.
Alright, so you've had the worst week ever then. Cameron?
Yeah.
Cameron's week was so bad he left.
No, I think my computer decided to overheat a bit.
Decided.
Oh, no.
So it turned itself off. It kept doing this last week as well.
Oh,
Well, then,
no. You have
This is the only place that hasn't snowed down. The only place.
yeah, there was a bit of
There
snow in
even
Edinburgh.
snowed in Africa. There will be
There is
snow in
snow,
Africa this Christmas. Yeah.
Is that a threat or a promise?
Both.
Should we start the podcast?
Let's just go.
Yeah, Cameron Appraised was frozen again, but he was dead weight anyway. We didn't need him.
All the secrets are coming out. How's your week been, Dan? You bought you purchased a musical instrument, did you
I
not?
purchased a guitar. University starts tomorrow, and I wish I was dead. It's also my birthday
Well,
tomorrow, but university very much kind of ruins that. So
Don't go in.
I can't. There's nothing
There
to
you
go
go,
into.
problem solved.
Oh, you. Good point, actually. Yeah. Should
I hope
we?
so. I hope you're planning on going out for your birthday, having loads of drinks, and getting all your friends together,
Yeah.
having a big hug.
Kissing
Kissing
everyone,
everyone.
licking out all the
breathing
door
all over each
handles.
other. Yeah,
I actually ordered some
friends.
just ordered some just handrails. I'd ordered them in used handrails just so I could lick them when I
Yeah.
wake up.
Well, yeah, because they've marinated over the years. They've kind of kept.
Yeah,
them
you've got to
forever.
It's like a good wok or a.
Yeah.
You've got to let it let all the flavour
It's
build
like
up.
an infectious
Yorkshire pudding
Russian
tin.
roulette.
Yes.
Which one will you get?
It was gonorrhea this time. I'm gonna start off first. Just get it out of the way. Jodie's probably leaving at
Possibly.
the end of series 13.
Yeah, we
Um,
in the last episode we were recording. As we were recording, news articles started cropping up, citing each other, and it was a bit unclear as to what the exact source was to the claims that Jode IA has left the show or is leaving.
well, it was one of the reporters from the Mirror who
Yes.
is usually right.
Quite
So,
a
yes.
reliable source, yeah, in the past.
Yeah. But we're not going to really talk about it until there's like official confirmation.
It's not
I think,
set in
like-
stone, but
Yeah, I think we'll probably have an episode on like the 14th Doctor when there's like an official stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
The reason we bring this up though is because since last episode, we've had a little update in that the BBC have refused to comment on it.
Yeah. It's not even like
fishy, to say the least.
if I feel if it was untrue, they would immediately come out and go, "This is wrong. Jodie's staying on for 17 more years."
Yeah, see you soon for the new
But
series.
it's not even like they didn't say anything. They put out a statement to Digital Spy explicitly saying they weren't saying anything. It was
Yeah.
we won't be commenting
And-
on any speculation around Jodie's future on the show. That's what they said to Digital Spy.
No one from the Doctor Who team as well has made any comment on it either. Like
Yeah.
Chibnall going, "This is utter bollocks," or Jodie herself. There has been no word from the BBC, which
None of them have social media, to be fair.
Well, like
It's in a
Mandy-
newspaper,
I'm so
Paul.
grateful that she doesn't have Twitter. Can you imagine?
No, but they
Oh god, it'd be horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like Mandic, she's on Twitter. She probably would
You
have
know,
said
I
anything
think-
if it wasn't real.
Yeah, Paul's messaging
know,
all
that
the
can be
time.
do off
He's still
Twitter.
not had a reply.
Yeah, I mean, every day, twice sometimes.
Instagrammed it, yo.
You know,
Sends her
as soon as she
letters.
puts a story up, I'm like, well, she must be online.
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
Why don't you respond to my post? What I sent? I know you're online. There's the little green dots next to your name. So
Send her a carrier pigeon, see if that works.
yeah. Put
She may shoot it and eat it, but
put a note and tie it to a brick and throw it through a window. She'll definitely respond then.
or at least someone will respond on her behalf.
Yes.
Even
The
if they're in a
police.
police uniform. Oh, look, it must be one of Yaz's police friends.
Oh look,
It might be Amy's friend at the Kissogram.
they're doing jazz cosplay.
Can you imagine a Doctor Who fan as a police visit, and it's like some really bad news, and their first thought is that it's like, it's Yaz's mate from work. It's a kissogram.
Is there any other news, Dan?
There's a couple of other newses.
Newses.
Yeah, so we'll properly get into that when there's official confirmation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Something there is official confirmation about that we completely forgot to talk about last week. There's a new companion. It's John Bishop,
Liverpool's own. Paul
Dan.
will be
Liverpool's
happy.
own. That's me.
No, I was just saying his name's Dan.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's very fun. Very, very good.
It was that or do the Alan Partridge thing that goes on for way too.
Sorry, can we just pause a sec?
No.
Oh god.
Something
Okay.
mad just happened.
I
So
was
the
wondering where
smackhead
you'd
who lives
gone.
next door,
Yeah.
the
What's
smackhead
that
who
weird?
lives next door to me, yeah.
What's that weird metal clanging going on from your end?
Just that was my bed.
It's the Dalek rebuilding it.
But so the smackhead next door just been shouting, yeah.
So yeah, John Bishop, new companion, series 13. He's called
Yeah.
Dan. How do we feel about
he's called
this?
what?
Dan.
That's
Yeah,
not
well-
going to get confusing at all when this series starts, is it?
We're not doing a who's on first. We're not doing that. What's interesting about this is I think for a while I was nothing. For a while I was saying, and I know like a lot of other people were saying, "Oh, great, Graham,
Graham.
Grimes.
Hashtag Graham.
Graham and Ryan are leaving, so maybe Yaz will get some character development or any personality traits."
Bloody patriarchy coming in here, giving us the
Yeah.
John Bishop.
It was like,
That sounds
oh,
like an
great.
innuendo.
That sounds like
Ch-
a euphemism.
Chibnall is fixing one of the major issues with his show. And then he just comes in again and just shoves another companion in and breaks it.
I think it'll be
Yeah.
alright. I'm
We
looking
already
at-
Yeah,
Wow.
it'll be charmed.
We already knew John Bishop was going to appear in the series because he'd been
Did we?
seen. Yeah, he was
You
seen
know what?
filming with Santarans.
Oh,
You know what's a bit weird? Yeah. People on Twitter are already shipping him with that fella who was just reading from a
Yeah,
phone
I
and
saw
had
that.
no character at
Based
all.
off like
Oh,
no.
it's so strange.
What is clearly his workmate who
And the-
was having a break and a cuppa whilst he loaded the van.
Yeah.
hey, you
And the
can,
main reason they're excited, it's not because John Bishop's a good actor or anything like that. It's just because he likes gay people, and you're like, there's more to be. I mean, it's great that he's not homophobic, but it's not the
I
main
think-
reason to be excited.
John Bishop strikes me as the type of person where if he was cast in a role and the character was gay, he wouldn't want that role. He would want an actual gay actor to do it. He strikes me as that sort of person.
I know very little about
So about his character is
John
gay.
Bishop. I'm
Yeah.
finding out now.
He is
Yeah,
a
he's
comedian,
not from
obviously,
Liverpool.
Well, that's about all I know about him.
but
He's a
he,
Liverpudlian comedian.
He's from Runcorn.
which
Sorry,
is near
what?
Liverpool.
Yeah, but it's not Liverpool. He's a wool.
I'm sorry, he's a what?
A wool. You're a wool.
Is this some kind of racial slur? You're not. Is this a Scouse racial slur?
It's someone who's not from Liverpool.
Okay. Well, my grandparents are from
But-
Liverpool, so suck on that.
Yeah, your grandparents would call you a wool.
My nana would say no such thing.
No,
Yeah, but
honestly,
he is.
that's the term. Like, it's like people from like Widnes or Birkenhead who say the Scouts, and you're like, you're not even from Liverpool. You're from
But he's got
Birkenhead.
quite a thick Scouse accent, though.
I know, yeah. That's what's deceiving.
It's a lie. It's a ruse.
It's a ruse. Like he says he's from Liverpool, but then you find out he grew up in Runcorn, and you're like, what's happening, John?
And then you beat him
You
to death in
liar.
the street.
Honestly, lad, that man outside my house does. He finds him.
So moving on. John Barrowman might be in season 13
Yeah,
because he's currently isolating in Cardiff, as he put on Instagram today.
And Cardiff is where they film. Only Doctor Who and nothing else. There is no other reason to be in Cardiff.
Maybe he's on Only Connect.
Nah.
Maybe that's why he's in Cardiff.
Yeah, I think he's there for filming. In all seriousness,
Yeah.
We joked about it. If we see that he's dyed his hair soon, then it's confirmed.
Mm.
But
he
then again,
can only be.
do Grey Jack.
He currently lives in LA, doesn't he?
I think so.
Then he has to be here for filming of some kind. He will not be allowed into the country
That's a good-
and to
yeah, good point.
self-isolate in Cardiff if
Yeah.
it's to
Yeah.
go to his second home. That is against all UK lockdown
And
law.
to be
Yeah.
fair, no one chooses to go to Wales unless they have to.
Yeah,
That is true.
I like Wales.
I love
It's
Wales. I
lovely.
love Cardiff. as
but
well.
yeah, so he is definitely filming something.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it is to do with Doctor Who or Torchwood.
Yeah, I
He
think
did put a
there's
Torchwood quote in the
Yeah,
comment.
I
I'll
think
be back.
there's a good chance, I think, based on the Gwen Cooper mention in Revolution, they might be bringing Torchwood back, I think.
yes. It is more likely now.
Sorry,
than
what
it
was that
has
noise
been-
then?
You have to say it again for me to.
They might be bringing Torchwood back.
Um,
It's well overdue, I think, even if I'm
Yeah.
not a massive Torchwood fan.
well,
Yeah.
it finished on that cliffhanger of having a second immortal guy, Rex Matheson from the CIA.
I never actually finished Miracle Day.
I did. I stick to it. I watch everything. But yeah, so there's now Rex as an immortal because he has Jack's blood in him. That's how they solve Miracle Day. They have to pour blood into two cracks on either side of the world. And
What
so
the
they
fuck?
they give Rex a blood transfusion so he has Jack's mortal blood in him. Because
What?
Jack can't be on both sides of the world. And they know that the bad guys will get to them and destroy the blood sachets. It's quite convoluted.
What the?
but-
I'm glad I didn't finish Miracle Day, actually.
Oh, if they do bring back Torchwood, we will definitely have to talk about some episodes of Torchwood. And I
Yeah.
reckon I really want to do some on Miracle Day.
We can rip into it. I got halfway through season 1. I finished not Miracle Day, Children of Earth.
Children
Like
Earth
that's
is
obviously
brilliant.
great. Also,
Yeah.
the season that Chibnall had no involvement in, if IMDb is to be believed.
Yeah, he
He-
came off
Yeah.
He
after
did-
series 2.
He didn't write a
Pure
single
Russell
episode
T
of that.
Davies.
I know
However,
there were a couple other writers, but
everything would fucking Owen and Tosh was down to Chibnall, and they're two of the best characters in Torchwood ever.
Yeah.
well, Owen
So can't take that
was
away
like
from him.
Owen has his points where he's a bit dodgy.
He was a weird
Owen's one of
horny
the best
man, wasn't
characters
he?
in the entirety of Doctor Who.
Last bit of news. I'm deviating from my normal standard of what I include in the news this time, because Paul, you're gonna love this.
Go on.
The last bit of news is a Big Finish cover.
Oh, you know me, Dan.
I do include this though because it's obviously it's a bit more important than most Big Finish covers, and also there is like some more information about the thing. Anyway,
I'll put it on the
Ninth
screen.
Doctor Adventures.
Keep chatting. I'll
Ninth-
put it on the screen.
Okay then, Ninth Doctor Adventures. We got a cover. We got some details. We got some episode titles.
Details.
We got some bloody details, isn't it, bro?
Right, my Big Finish.
Oh, we got bloody Big Finish details. I can't believe. Tell you what. Yeah. So this is
Yeah.
volume 1 of 4 that he's doing. Ravagers. There's 3 episodes in it.
There's
Sphere of Freedom.
what looks like what could be a transformer from a deleted scene from one of the
It does look like a transformer attacking a Roman soldier.
There's some nice random work at the back there from his TARDIS.
Yep.
Pretty.
And
There's a lot going on.
I think the one right at the back is the grid floor,
Yes.
like the
Oh,
mesh
yes.
floor.
Yeah.
I say this because I've been on Tom Webster, who designed it's Twitter. I'm a fan of him, and he's just been posting a lot about it. Anyway,
Some Romans. There's some what
there's-
looks like the Guilty Spark from Halo. There's
Capaldi's
Um,
the tank from Resolution confirmed.
No, it's
And there's some
Capaldi's
infantrymen.
tank. He keeps in the TARDIS.
and there's some what?
Infantryman down in the bottom with a cannon.
Yeah, looks Crimean War-y.
Oh,
I don't know that actually. I have no idea when
I would-
or what the
No,
Crimean War
that's-
is.
That's not the Crimean War. That's
I knew you'd say that.
I do.
Come
that
on,
looks
come on,
more
Cameron, I believe in
Napoleonic.
you. There we
Come
go.
on, Cameron,
That'll
I'm
do.
waiting to speak here.
It's similar to what they would have worn in Hornblower, that
Hornblower.
series. Yeah, the
I
Hornblower
don't know what that is.
films and novels. It looks around that era, which I can't remember what it is.
I'll take your word
Really
for it.
specific reference.
We've also and we got 3 episode titles.
I'd argue that
Okay.
there's going to be a lot of just jumping around in time, sort
Some
of.
what in like some kind of
Just-
time machine, Paul.
No, like more than like just go. So like in Eaters of Light, he goes to Rome and stay in Rome the whole episode. I'd argue that there's going to be like more than one location jumping about. So with given how much there is on the cover with like First World War, Romans, that war, I'd say one of the episodes might jump from war to war in the TARDIS.
Okay.
That's my speculation.
Yes, we've got 3 episode titles. I've tried to do this. This is the 3rd time trying to read the episode titles. I've got interrupted.
Do you know that robot? No, I'm joking.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I was going to say something as well.
We've got Sphere of Freedom, Cataclysm, and Food Fight. Interesting name.
Food
yeah.
fight.
Food Fight.
Oh.
That's a silly name, isn't it?
It is a silly
It's a silly.
name.
It's a silly show.
Good. It's going to be a silly episode, though. Oh, it's going to be
So silly.
Oh.
There's also 2 new companions, and we've got little descriptions for them. One of them is
Oh.
fine. I want to get. I want to get to the second one. I want to get to the second.
I thought you were going to say.
I know what the second one is.
We've got Lil Peep.
So there's
Dan,
Nova.
When you get to the second one, can I guess what you're going to say about it?
Okay, so we've got Nova, played by Camilla B. Putt, who is described as a galley chef from the Sphere of Freedom, and then we've got Audrey, played by Jane McKenna.
Gamer girl.
And this is what?
No, is that not what you're going to say?
No. What? You think that was the?
I thought that's what you were going to say, because it said, because she's female, and it says something about her being a gamer in a bio.
Well,
Sure,
yes, I was going to get the bio is the oldest gamer in Freedom City. Now,
Yeah, so she's a gamer girl.
great.
Classic.
What a fascinating description for a character.
The Belle Delphine of Doctor Who.
Oh no, you've brought the tone right down.
The
Paul.
Doctor lands on a mysterious planet and he goes to buy some bathwater. I'm gonna buy this. I'm looking at the cover right now, and I'm gonna buy this.
Oh, absolutely.
I have to.
I mean, I was going to buy it anyway. It's
Like when
He's
you've
back,
had Series
but-
1 for so long, and you're offered more Ninth Doctor content with Christopher Eccleston. You
hashtag content.
if you turn that down, you're a massive muppet. Everyone should buy this, and we will.
The head of that robot on the cover sort of looks like the Scovok Blitzer.
Yeah, it does.
The what? The what?
Scovok's Blitzer from Series 8, the Caretaker.
Oh, it
Yeah,
does.
it's modelled off those Dalek designs that never happened.
Yeah, it's the deadliest robot in all the universe that never appears again.
Yeah, okay, yeah, sure.
Well, that's weird. I thought a robot in the thing we're talking about today was the deadliest robot in all the universe.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot
And
of
it's never
deadliest
seen again.
robots in all the
Warrior
universe,
robot.
isn't there? Yeah.
As I call
We'll get
it,
onto
Ben.
that later. So what do we think about the oldest gamer in Freedom City? And also maybe the rest of this.
I really enjoyed it. It was a good listen. I thought the pacing was good, and surprisingly they use a whole new theme tune for him that was actually created by popular K-pop band BTS, which I thought was an interesting choice. And also the entire thing. I don't know, forget it.
No, keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm gonna buy it. And what was it you were saying about Gamer Girl? I'm still confused by that.
Oh,
Yeah, Paul,
because
justify
she's
yourself.
a female and
Right.
she's a gamer.
See, that's not what I was getting at. But
That is what a gamer girl is. It's
true.
just a girl
True.
who plays games.
Yeah, that's fact.
Yep.
But the joke with them is always that they're like, girls never play games.
Is it? Is that what
And
you
they're
say?
like,
Is that what
No,
you
no,
say
no.
about women who play video
Well,
games?
it's not what I say. It's
Is
like
this a Shobocast exclusive?
it's an internet
Paul-
meme, man.
Paul is a raging misogynist. Are we
No,
just
it's
finding
an
this out
internet
now?
I
meme
found the,
where they're always
the
like
segment name.
girls who play games. Always like, actually, I'm a gamer girl and stuff like that. And you're like, oh, shut up.
Oh, so you want women
Shut
who
up.
play games
Shut up,
on the
woman.
to shut up? Is that
What you're
you're
saying is, Paul, is that women shouldn't be allowed to enjoy games. Okay, let's carry on. Let's
Well,
move on
I'm glad
to,
we've got that out of the
You just-
way. Yeah.
Shouldn't refer to themselves as gamer girls because it's cringe.
Oh, it's cringe for women to be enthusiastic about the things they
Yeah,
enjoy,
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah,
That's what you think. That's what you're saying, Paul.
That's
Isn't it?
what I think. Yes. If we want to go there,
So, at the
Women
end of
are
the
God,
cringe.
what's next?
That-
Female doctors.
That's why there's no women on
Nurse
this
Who. Were you
podcast.
enjoying
now, 'cause
Nurse
women are
Who,
cringe.
Paul?
What was that, Dan? Yeah, Dan, yeah.
Let's move on.
Let's. That's the end of the news.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
This interlude brought to you by Dan singing.
Could you do an impression of the horns that you hear in the Death Zone? Can't hear us.
I genuinely can't remember what those horns sound like.
Isn't it just like sort of thing?
I think you did a perfectly good impression of it. So
Can I just start by saying I barely remember anything that happened in this episode?
No, you
But
weren't
I've
got
sending me
any
voice
notes.
messages while you were watching it, so you weren't watching. I was
I
voice
have it on.
messaging Paul back and forth, and in the background of each one you can hear like Tegan going, "Cybermen," and then he goes back and he's like, "What the fuck just happened?"
yeah, maybe you should
Well,
watch the episode and write down what happened in the episode, Paul.
How
I
many
was
notes?
sort
Maybe
of watching it.
I've got a
I
page
stopped
and a
taking notes
quarter.
about 10 episodes ago, but I started again today and I made 3 notes.
I made the mistake of thinking I could when we were doing the Christmas stuff, thinking I could like not write notes for episodes because I thought, I'm just gonna try a new thing. I'm gonna try a new thing. I'm not gonna write. I'm just gonna freestyle, And then when we came to do those episodes, I had absolutely nothing to say because I'd forgotten it all.
I have
Which is why
that
those
many
episodes...
pages of notes of all the episodes I've watched for this. Some of which we've not done a podcast on yet.
Oh yeah,
Is that Invasion?
Invasion.
Still not over that. Five Doctors.
Doctors.
What
Yeah,
did everyone think going into it?
This is the
And who had turned
20th
war?
anniversary, isn't it?
I
Yes.
did not want to watch it.
You
Why?
really
You'd never want to watch Classic Who though, Paul.
Yeah, you'd never... I'm
Is
honestly
this never
surprised.
good?
I'm honestly
This is
surprised,
good.
Paul. This was
It was
great.
alright.
Honestly, I'm surprised when you want to appear on the podcast.
I know, yeah.
You seem you're so against watching an episode of
Yeah,
the
which one was the one
show
where
that the
he just-
podcast is about.
There was one where you just didn't watch any of it. I'm sure.
You didn't
Yeah,
watch
it
the
was,
second half of Vengeance on Virus.
It was Invasion. The word I just refused to watch it because it was
Oh, yeah,
8
that's the
parts
reason
long.
we-
I didn't watch that, but that's because I didn't have time to watch it.
It's a big one to be.
I
fair.
didn't want the time to watch it. And then, as Cameron said, 7 parts of it was shit. So
Yeah,
not
the
in
60s
any hurry
stuff
to watch it.
It's a
So
difficult watch. A lot of the 60s.
On average, 7 parts of it are shit.
I
The
mentioned a couple of months ago I was starting Doctor Who from the start, and I got to Edge of Destruction, and I haven't watched it since.
Lad, Edge of
Interesting.
Destruction's so shit.
Because all of us here have been watching quite a bit of Classic Who. How did it feel then watching a Classic era story that was all in one go for you? There were no
That
cliffhangers,
it was
nothing.
so
that-
refreshing.
It was
It was
actually-
It's a
so
welcome
good.
change.
It was the closest thing
Yeah.
to a movie.
It was like a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like an hour and 40 minutes, I think. It was
30 minutes, unless you watched an extended one.
the
Which I'm not
special
sure how-
edition.
how long it was.
Yeah, me and Dan
oh.
watched the special edition.
I've had
which
this
is a bit
I
DVD
watched
bigger.
it on-
for years. I don't know. I don't actually know what was added. We can
That's
discuss
the-
that later.
That's the. Can you just show me the cover real quick? That is the first. I think. It's that version. That was the first Doctor Who DVD they released
yeah,
Really?
in the DVD
Yeah.
range, and then in
I've had this for-
2008 they re-released the one that I've got.
I've had this DVD for a very long time.
Yeah. Well, that it was the
Um,
first one they did in the range. They did quite a few, but that was the first one apparently. They did that.
I
and
think-
the movie and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I think this episode is the first
and then you've got
bit
that
of
one.
Classic Who I ever watched.
Mm.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah, it was my
No.
first one as well.
It doesn't have a side binding as well.
It was
Ugh.
like one of
That's
the
the
first.
DVD ones that
few
they
ones
released
that
for
I
the
had.
collections.
Yeah, I think I've got a vague memory of watching this with my dad. I think.
Mm.
But yeah, that was the first
And
time
we've got them with
watch
us
it.
here tonight.
Yeah. So yeah, I've not watched this in a very long time. But this was great.
I
Should we
love it.
talk about it?
Yeah, do we want to do our out of 10 scores now, like we did last time, or do you want to wait till the end, or what?
I
Just to
don't
kind of
have
get a
one.
feel for how.
Fuck it. Yeah, let's do it now. Okay. 8.
An
This
8.
is an 8 out of 10.
I give this a 9.
Very good.
But almost a
I-
10.
Give it an about 8.5, 9. Because I'll get into it later, but yeah.
And Paul.
Paul.
I don't know.
You don't know. You've watched the
Yeah,
episode,
that-
Paul.
I can't remember.
I watched the episode, but I feel like I didn't watch it at all. Like
I
I
wonder
had it
why
on,
that is.
but I feel like I just weren't paying enough attention to.
So he's
to like
saying,
it or
he's saying
dislike
like a
it.
10 out of 10 then, right?
I think
I
that's
personally-
what I'm getting from him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm perfectly neutral on
It's
this
actually
episode.
altered the way that he thinks and will
However,
think from now on. So it
when,
has
um,
actually been a big...
It was actually
When-
it was so good. It actually froze some of
it's
his brain
changed the way he perceives
functions.
media from now on.
Yeah, so he can't
When-
actually remember what
when,
happened.
Yeah.
So this is Paul's best Doctor Who episode ever. Better
At
than Love and
last.
Monsters.
It's best, and it's also his last episode ever.
Well,
He
the
doesn't need
monsters
any
isn't
more
even my
media from
favourite,
now on.
actually. But so I liked when Troughton showed up. That was very fun.
He,
When he
Okay.
just swivels out of his
he
coat and that.
shines in this one. He's having a ball.
He's so good.
The bit where he goes
I
through
don't
the
remember
doorway with his
anything
coat.
past that point with him though.
When they
Yeah.
try and
Yeah,
grab his
that-
coat and he takes
Just
his
does a little
hand up.
spin and-
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Oh, he has a lot of fun with that coat, doesn't he?
It was
Yeah.
tomorrow's times.
That's the quote from Name of the Doctor. I wonder how they got it.
Shut up.
There is a clip in this though that I'm pretty sure is used in Day of the Doctor.
Is it?
Yeah, the second Doctor towards the end he goes, "This is the Doctor calling Gallifrey, Doctor calling Gallifrey," and I'm sure that is the bit they sampled for Day of the Doctor.
Calling
You're right.
Calling.
They cut out the gaps between them saying it and like put a few different bits in, and I'm sure it's that bit.
Yeah, there's actually another thing that comes up in the 50th anniversary like celebration episodes. I'll come to later. I want to talk about this a bit cool. It might be taking a bit out of your trivia section, Cameron, but it's too good a bit of trivia to like leave to that section.
Yeah, I think this would benefit actually from doing trivia off the bat, just because the episode is affected so much by the behind the scenes stuff that I feel if we get that through and then we can go through it beat by beat.
That helps me because I, for some reason, always write my trivia at the start of the notes.
Well, yeah, that, and also the lack of Tom Baker and stuff, it would make more sense if we just throw all the facts out.
I've got Oh, go on.
No, Paul, you go first.
No, mine leads into the discussion.
Alright, okay.
Okay,
Yeah, we'll go through it like in story order in a bit then. We'll just hit some
So, firstly, to get it out of the way now, 7.7 million viewers on the first broadcast.
decent.
Yeah. I quite like it when
82.
these classic Who episodes get such big numbers because, yes, there wasn't anything else to watch, but it is...
It was just one of the biggest shows of the time, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was... This is like peak Doctor Who fandom. This is when they were starting to get out on PBS in America as well.
I mean, it's the rise before the fall, because soon you had Next Generation and some more Star Wars that it was up against, and it really, in terms of like budget and stuff, it just got blown out of the water. But this is like a really nice period of the show where, because like we'll get onto it when we mention Herndl as well. I was really interested going into it to see, because when I was younger, like Dan was saying, I knew that wasn't actually the guy who played the First Doctor originally. I hadn't seen any First Doctor stuff, but I watched this, and I got that it was the First Doctor, and then when I watched more First Doctor stuff, it wasn't that jarring. Like, he plays it differently, and we will get onto it, but that was something I noticed going back into it now, knowing that obviously it isn't the same, and I've seen lots of Hartnell stuff since, that he is actually...
I hate how fast he walks.
He's a bit more spry, isn't he?
Getting back to the...
sprinting everywhere.
Going for a walkabout in the garden. What was he doing there?
Going for a nice little fast sprint through the garden. I'm surprised the Phantom Zone caught up with him.
Yeah. To get back to this though, as we know, Doctor Who liked to scrap a lot of the footage once it was done with. This episode, however, is the only one of Classic Who, as of when the trivia note was written on IMDb, to have all of the footage that they shot, so any of the gag takes, any of the bits that they fluffed, and the actual shown stuff, to still be in a showable format in the BBC archives. So they have everything.
Have any of you seen the outtakes for this episode?
I've not. Are they on the DVD?
No. They are the most fun you can have with your clothes.
Was that not just the whole episode? I'm joking.
Yeah. No, seriously, seek them out if they're online, but I know they're on the DVD.
Are they? Oh, great. I'm going to watch this. I'm watching them after we finish this.
My favourite being...
Is that where the picture comes from?
No, it's just the promotion.
No, the picture of John Pertwee or Patrick Troughton trying to swill John Pertwee with a jug.
No, that was at a convention, I think.
Yeah, that's a convention.
That's a great photo.
I love all their banter.
Yeah.
From which dimensions in time?
We don't speak that name here.
Yeah, so...
Wait, is that what it's from?
No, it's not. It's around the same time, though, before John died. But
what was it from, then? Oh,
it's just a fan convention.
Right. Wait, what was I saying, anyway?
Right.
Hang on.
I don't know.
Oh my god. You've derailed me completely, Paul.
So,
deleted scenes,
the trivia before Paul
No, it was
derailed us
trivia
again.
relate- Oh, it was about the outtakes. Yeah.
Yeah.
The best outtake I've seen in a while. It was it made me realise how difficult it must have been to drive Bessie, and it's John and Liz Sladen sat in Bessie in the Yorkshire Moors, no Wales, no the Death Zone, and they start setting off, and they're like she's mid-line, and the car like stutters, and John just like slams the dashboard and goes like shit. Really?
Yeah, so originally, John Nathan Turner with this didn't want Susan to refer to the Doctor as grandfather.
Grandfather!
And I
Because
was...
it's an imposter?
No, and I was... This is what the person who plays Susan, Caroline Ford, said about John Nathan Turner when he said this. He didn't want the audience to think the Doctor had sex. Because this was basically peak child show Doctor Who.
Is this the same John Nathan Turner that used to bed young fans as well?
Oh my.
Allegedly.
Okay. Allegedly?
Allegedly.
And
take it with
so
like the
Caroline...
tiniest speck of salt.
Yeah. Caroline Ford's reply to this... Caroline Ford's reply to not referring to the Doctor as grandfather was, well, I won't do it then. So she would...
Good on you.
If the bits were cut about her referring to the Doctor as grandfather, then she wouldn't have appeared in the show. Which
grandfather!
Is why...
Susan! Push the dial.
Grandfather!
I'll leave that bit.
Lightly twist your ankle.
To go back to the John Pertwee, Elizabeth Sladen bit that you mentioned, apparently their filming locations for some of their scenes were so cold that she was ordered to start slapping him in the face because he was turning blue.
That's how he died.
Where was it filmed?
A slap.
Where was the quarry that it was filmed in?
It's some unpronounceable name in Wales.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's like 3 different locations in Wales they used.
If you want to visit there and ruin your shoes, though.
A really boring father who likes to, while I'm watching Doctor Who or whatever, he comes in and says, I wonder where that
Take that,
filmed.
Dad!
And I have to then go and find out where it was filmed, otherwise I won't shut up. Because he'll sit there and
go,
it looks like Scotland. No, actually, it could be Yorkshire. That. And I'm just like,
I was watching this thinking, that is very local to me, York Moors.
Yeah, I thought that was, but it's Wales, apparently.
Your dad's like a worse version of those people who are already the worst people. Who, when you're watching something like, oh, where's that actor from? And he spent 5 minutes like clicking the fingers.
Yeah, he does.
And you're like, I've just missed an entire few scenes.
Oh, that's
what you've got to do
was on telly the other day. You know. Actually, sorry, this is a complete tangent, but it will be quick. You just reminded me when John Hurt unfortunately passed away. I came in at the time I was doing a paper round, because I'm a grafter, and I came in and I had to start school or college or whatever it was then. And I had about half an hour in a rush. My dad comes in and he says, Doctor Who's died. and my heart sank. And I was like, hang on, you mean they're going to regenerate the character? As in, Peter or Matt's quit, whoever it was at the time? Or do you mean Tom Baker's gone? God forbid. Or do you mean Colin Baker or Sylvester McCoy? Like, I was like...
Which one?
Which one?
He was like, the old one. I'm like, for God's sake.
That's half of them.
Yeah, and I panicked, and I had to go on BBC News.
That's half of them.
Yeah, yeah. And I was just sat there on BBC News, like, waiting for them to get round to saying the report again, and it was John Hurt, and I was like, oh,
yeah.
shit.
Imagine it was real-life Matt Smith. The youngest one.
It turns out he was actually like 99. He just did it really well.
Heavy makeup.
Yeah. But like he's very old in that one episode, which on.
But yeah, sorry, that really popped into my head.
Yeah, so this has a nice thing that could have happened originally. John Nathan Turner, for all of his faults, wanted Boris Hussein to return and direct after he directed a couple of the first Doctor episodes.
First ever stuff, yeah.
Yeah, he was unavailable, so he turned to the most prolific.
So they got Sasha Joanne in
yeah,
instead.
To play Warwick, playing.
They got.
Warwick.
No, he then went
got Roman
to
Polanski.
Douglas.
Oh no.
Camfield? I can't remember. My notes have really scrolled right in.
It's alright. He's not listening.
Yeah, to direct, and he also wasn't available, so it ended up with
Chris Nolan.
Roman Polanski.
Peter Moffat.
So him and John Nathan Turner could be Peter's together.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Oh,
Just like
The
Jeffrey
direct-
Epstein.
There was a rumor going around when this episode aired, though, that it had been directed by
Steve
Among
Peter
Moffat.
Davison, the Fifth Doctor, because his real name
Oh.
is Peter Moffat, and this was directed
Yeah,
by Peter Moffat with an E
I
instead of an
look-
A.
I looked at the wiki the other day and was like, oh, was that Peter Davison?
I don't think Doctor Who would have a serving Doctor direct an episode, though. I also don't think any of the Doctors are directors. I could be wrong, though.
They've probably done
Handel.
some stuff.
Yeah,
Handel.
Richard Hundle was cast due to his resemblance to Richard Hartnell after the casting director had seen him in Blake 7. And I have in my notes here,
However,
that's bollocks.
Yeah, he doesn't
that,
look.
that,
But
that casting director was blind, to be fair.
hang
So
on, before we move on to from this, Caroline Ann Ford.
You can do it.
Yay! She's gone on record to say that when filming this episode, and Richard had like the wig on and the costume and everything, for a few minutes she started feeling a bit moved because it felt like she was there with Bill again,
Yeah.
and it was like being back years ago. And he was there with her again. Then obviously he must have turned around and she probably screamed. But
yeah.
goodness
Then
me.
he turned around and she was like, oh,
Cardiff.
nothing like him. And then she was
The-
like, fucking hell, would you slow down? I've got to walk next to you.
The thing he was just like he was on a Segway.
The original story for this
Take your
was
heelys off.
to be the Six Doctors and feature Susan and the First Doctor as androids. And the Doctors would be captured by Cybermen, and they would be using the Time Lord DNA to become Cyber Lords, where I've seen that recently.
Now hold on a second.
With the
I'm
second
listening.
Doctor,
Cyber Masters.
no,
Okay. just
Cyber
checking.
Lord, better name,
Chibnall.
and the second
Cyber Lords
Doctor
is a
would be
better
the
name.
one to save the day. Some of the plot points of the Six Doctors story was later reused in the Two Doctors with Colin Baker and Patrick Troughton. The recent companion that was in the last story episode, Chameleon, was not used in this because, one, he doesn't really fit the plot, and two, apparently everyone just hated that robot.
Do you know what I love about Chameleon? The shape-shifting character is that they wrote him out because they couldn't they didn't like the way that he looked, and they couldn't use the costume and stuff as well.
It's a
And
proper
it's-
robot, apparently.
Yeah, it's
and
like if only you could have them shape-shift into something else.
Yeah.
Literally
But-
anything else, and they just wrote him out. It's like what?
apparently the only person who knew how to control this robot, though, died shortly before he was written out, and that's part of the reason, because he was the only one who knew, and no one else knew how to control this robot. Chameleon is used
A
quite a lot
chameleon?
as a pawn for the Master in this era.
Pawn.
Pawn.
P-A-W-N.
Yeah, R/SKARO. Yeah, we know.
This is the first episode to feature Daleks and Cybermen in the same story. This would not happen again until Doomsday.
What's that? I'm joking.
Fuck off, Paul.
Nearly fell for it then. He nearly fell for it then.
Nearly got it.
There's a lot of trivia for this episode, isn't there?
Yeah, originally the Master
Oh,
was
yeah.
going to be the main villain, but that was seen as being too obvious.
Okay.
And
so we had
You
what?
can see,
President
Yeah, I
Bullshit.
did think it was the
Yeah.
Master from the start, like.
yeah. At the start, you can sort of see how he's wearing like the black leather gloves. That is sort of like how the Master normally looks, but it's clear that he's not once the Master's introduced.
I thought it was Palpatine behind it all. Like a clone of Palpatine.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Yeah, somehow off screen, Palpatine returned and create. Or everything was just a clone
The
or something.
third
Yeah, yeah.
Doctor
Fuck that. film.
never meets the Cybermen, so they are in the same scene together, but they never meet, and so John Pertwee never worked with Cybermen. He never battles them at all.
No.
Huh.
Except for the Brigadier.
Big
Gotham.
finish, but
Yeah.
Gotham.
Anthony
Brigadier is
Ainley,
actually-
except for the
Cyber, also.
Brigadier, yeah.
Yeah.
John Pertwee and Anthony
I-
Ainley share an off-screen connection with this as well, because Henry Ainley, Anthony Ainley's father, is John Pertwee's godfather.
There we go.
Oh,
Yeah, so they're god brothers.
God brothers.
Yeah. I've got a few bits about Tom Baker, but I'll get onto them in a second. There is a goof, though, in the thing. When the First Doctor walks across the chessboard during the pie scene, he
pie?
Yes, he isn't meant to walk straight across it. He was meant to zigzag over.
Yeah.
Apparently, he was meant to zigzag across, but he didn't, and they were already late shooting, so they just had to keep it in.
Yeah.
In many ways, the most random sequence you can walk is the way that they expect you to walk, because they don't expect
Yeah,
you to do it.
But even... No, because Anthony Ainley walks across first, and he doesn't just walk straight across, he does like this flourishing jump side to
he does
side.
a little dance.
Yeah.
My favourite part of the entire episode was when he skipped across it and then just left the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Yeah. And then bits about Tom Baker. So, when he decided not to return, the companions had to be rejigged. So originally it was meant to be 4 and Sarah Jane, 3 and the Brigadier, 2 and Jamie. Fraser Hines had to pull out because he was unavailable for filming. He was filming something else. I think he was in Emmerdale at this time. And
which one is Fraser Hines?
Jamie.
Right.
The Scottish one.
Hello!
So then the Brigadier went with number 2, Sarah Jane with 3, 4 was cut out, and then Fraser Hines was able to make himself available for a day, so he became a Phantom at the end. And Tom Baker's clips were from Sharda, and the publicity photos used the Madame Tussauds waxwork.
Madame Tussauds has come a long way, because that is shocking.
Yes. This is the first Doctor Who episode to have a broadcast, a premiere broadcast outside of the UK. It was broadcast on the 23rd of November in America first, and then broadcast about 2 days later in the UK, because we had Children in Need.
Oh.
I mean, we still do have children in need, technically. Many children all over the country are starving.
Oh, very good.
Marcus
On that
Rashford's out there
specific day,
to try and
they
save
had
them
to
all.
move it round so they could show Children in Need instead.
I think that's the end of the trivia, isn't it?
So is it a new TARDIS at the start of the episode?
Hang on, Paul. You love
Hang on,
David
Paul.
Bradley's First Doctor, so how come you've got such a massive issue with Richard Hurndall?
Because he's too quick.
Fair enough.
That's it. That's the only issue you've got.
He just, I don't know, I do not like the look of him.
I don't like the look of that Richard Hurndall, man.
It is a new TARDIS interior.
Yeah, that's the opening shot for your standard version, isn't it? It's the console.
Standard version, it's William Hartnell's speech at the end of Invasion of the Daleks.
I mean, after the title sequence. Because that's on both the Hartnell thing.
Yeah. Which is quite nice, because it's a way to get Hartnell into the episode.
Yeah.
Because I think if they did this episode nowadays, the modern technology, they'd somehow use archive footage of Hartnell, and then...
Well, there's that really cool shot of in Twice Upon a Time, isn't there, where it blends into David Bradley.
They morph from the 10th planet.
Yeah, I love that.
But
I love both of those scenes.
Yeah. If they were doing this now, this exact episode, I think it would be archive Hartnell running away from something and just edit the time scoop in, and something would go slightly wrong, and so he'd look slightly different.
Yeah, they would have explained it away, I think.
Yeah, they would have written in a plot point about it. Because people would go, why did it look different now? He looked like William Hartnell before credits.
He's a different person, innit? Why can't they get William Hartnell back? It's not like he's dead. So I think this is
you
the best.
You really brought
classic...
the tone of the podcast down, then.
Oh yeah, it was me who did that, wasn't it? Yeah.
Always rely on Dan to bring death and children in poverty into the conversation.
Yeah.
I think this is the best the classic TARDIS has ever looked.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
I do like the...
You all look the same.
Shut up.
Shut up, Paul.
This is a more digital TARDIS. The one before was analog with dials.
So many buttons and things.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think
just the rotor alone. There's so much going on in it. It's beautiful, and I love.
I
the,
do
I love
not
the
remember what it
hexagonal
was like.
pattern
I've done
around
it
the edge.
twice.
Yeah.
Paul, you weren't watching the episode.
I'm gonna put some photos.
No, but
I'm gonna put some
all the
TARDIS
classic
porn into the chat.
TARDISes to me just look the same all the time, and
This one,
sometimes the round things change.
I think the actual console itself is slightly bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won't
But-
get into prop history because people like Clayton Hickman will destroy us if we get anything wrong. But yeah.
Then we get the second Doctor turning up, and he is sassing Free before they even meet.
He's so good in
Yeah,
this
even
episode.
at the end, he like digs him as well.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed since the Three Doctors. They're exactly.
Yeah.
the
I
same
love how
Doctors
much they
as
hate
Well, it's
each
because-
other.
Classic Who, you can remember meeting your past selves. So they remember the Free Doctor.
Yeah.
Because he
Yeah.
goes, there is a line towards the end where they reference it, but when Two is introduced and it's like, oh, so Brigadier, who is this person? And it's like, oh, this is my replacement. And it's like, yes, mine was pretty unimpressive as well. And I just
Yeah.
like that because he's slating Free before they even meet on screen.
I love his little run when they're running away from the I don't know, the thing that's collecting them.
Time
He's
scoop.
just got a little
Yeah.
like
That
scurry.
reminded me of 12's run. Although
A little
it should
bit.
be 12's reminds me of number 2's,
It might just
should
be
it be?
because they're wearing similar.
I've
pants.
got I've got a piece of trivia about
Oh no.
Patrick Troughton's run.
Go on.
Apparently, on set, Patrick Troughton's run at top speed was still not faster than Richard Hernell walking through that garden.
What's your issue, mate?
Let
He's
it
not
go!
old, and
He's
he
not that
just fucking
fast.
sprints that. Yeah, he is fast.
He
I've
is
never
faster
seen
than
William Hartnell move that fast my entire life.
Yeah, that's because William Hartnell smoked like 40 a day for 20 years. And the rest, probably.
And looked like a 90-year-old man.
Yeah, when he was
I
only
think
about 50.
Richard Hurndall was,
Yeah.
I think, about 74 in this episode,
Yeah,
and he looks
And
younger
David-
than
David
Hartnell.
Bradley was like 80.
David Bradley's incredibly old and looks the same age as Hartnell.
There's a line when they're talking about when like he's just like cleaning up the TARDIS and like, isn't this set very nice? Where Peter Davison, I think the line was, the TARDIS is more than a machine; it's like a person, which I thought was, not to like dig into Revolution of the Daleks again, but I thought it was a very.
You never mean to do that, do you, Dan?
I never mean to do that. No, I just can't help it. Yeah, it's almost like Chibnall forgot that. But we're not here to be sad. We're here to be happy about the Five Doctors. Thank God when they got out of the TARDIS, the Fifth Doctor. Thank God they landed on a planet that looks like the English countryside.
Yeah.
Welsh
Thank God they
countryside.
landed on a planet that looks like shit.
There's the classic line from Troughton. You've redecorated. I don't like it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
twice you said it now.
I have a question about Sarah Jane and
Go on.
K9 specifically.
Yes.
Was their appearance a backdoor pilot to the K9 and Company?
No. That came
No.
before this.
No, but
Fuck.
but that's why she's got K9
Yeah.
at the house. It's supposed to say K9 Company happened.
But why
Yeah.
wasn't she drinking wine?
I know, no glass of wine to be seen.
No.
So it can't
Just
be
a
canon.
weird see-through coat.
It was a weird coat, wasn't
Standing
it?
at a wall. How did K9 get up that wall? Let's leave that for another.
He's got handles on him.
As
His
soon
little
as she
arms.
closed it down,
He's
as
got
soon as she
handles
closed
on his
the
arse
gate,
and his front. So you can just...
as soon as she closed the gate on K9, I thought, yeah, he's got no chance of getting out of it. Especially in the classic series, I thought, yeah, he's stuck now.
I think I found
There's
the
no way he
weirdest
can open
cover.
that gate.
I found the weirdest cover for this episode.
It's
Which
the
is-
one
Go
with
on.
Black Tom Baker.
No, the one from BBC Video, and it's got Tom in the centre, but it's from the scene he's in. So it's just him stood on a boat, and there's a Dalek in the corner, but it's the Dalek commander.
Are you
or
gonna
whatever
send
from-
this?
Yeah, from Day of the Dalek. So it's a gold one. It's really weird.
What are you sending it?
Have a look at it in general. Have a look at it. It's like random stills from the episode
Oh,
where people are like
God.
mid.
Oh yeah, that's the one on IMDb. Yeah, that
Yeah.
is a real
Yeah.
weird.
People are like,
Yeah.
The last bullet point I've got is Sarah could have easily walked up that hill.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
she,
right.
she falls like
This-
down.
this comes into
It's
trivia.
very dramatic.
This comes into trivia. A
Go
little
on.
bit because they originally
Elizabeth Sladen
They
was
want-
very tired.
they
that day.
wanted an Auton scene there because obviously the brig obviously everyone meets like Cybermen and Daleks and they all get a monster each and 3 was supposed to have some Autons appear and that would be the threat for him to deal with instead of the Raston Warrior robot and stuff, and because of budget cuts and whatever that they couldn't get around to doing it. And to be fair, they try their best, but yeah, that scene with Sarah falling down
Yeah.
the hill and then
It's
him having to tow her out when she could.
It's not even-
visibly just crawl up.
like, yeah, she could easily walk up, and then like instead of just going down and helping her, he throws
It's
down a
A
rope.
rope.
She ties it to herself, and then he drags her with a moving car.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a good thing that the Death Zone had roads, so they could drive
Yes,
Bessie
I
around.
have.
wasn't
I
it?
have that down as well.
That is good. For all the
I
Time
would
Lord
have
cars
loved
that we
it.
never see.
Can you imagine, like, the end of the scene just being, yes, we'll go up to the tower in a second, I just need to pull over here and fill her up, and they're at a petrol station with the spa.
That's-
garage.
Would you like some crisps?
There's a multi-story car park next to the tower.
Yeah.
Remember where we've parked? We're in the blue zone.
Or they pull up to the tower and to go in, they've got, like, pay to get through the gate or whatever. It's like one of those when you get on motorways. Paying this for the car park.
I noticed as well, on every time the Dark Tower is seen when they first see it, so in the TARDIS console room, or in that hole the Dalek makes by just blowing up,
Mhm.
the tower is a lot closer to where they are. So
What do you mean?
when the Dalek explodes, and this may just be in the version me and Paul watched on BritBox,
Mhm.
but when there's that hole that appears, the Dark Tower is really close and it's a
Yeah,
wasteland.
No, you're right. It's on
And then
both
they
of them.
crawl out the hole, and they're in a moor with nice, luscious green grass.
Yeah, it's further away.
Yeah, and then it's the same in the TARDIS console room on the scanner. It's really close, dark, desolate wasteland.
Mhm.
They're on a moor side.
Susan continues to be a bit of a wet blanket.
Yeah.
She twists her ankle.
Grandfather!
For no reason.
She's such an interesting character at the start of An Unearthly Child, and then almost immediately, this is more like a critique of the Heart and Life, but like almost immediately, she just becomes like a vessel from which screams come out.
Yeah.
Screams
Yeah.
and sobs, man. Come on, she has more than just
Yes,
screaming.
somehow.
It screams, sobs, and shouting the word grandfather. Classic
What I think
Susan.
I would have liked from this is for Susan to be paired up with not the first Doctor.
Yeah,
at
it's way,
first-
I really would have liked her at any point to call any of the other Doctors grandfather.
Yeah. But it's only ever the first Doctor.
Yeah.
Like in the tower at the end, she should have just gone, grandfather, and they all just look up. That would have been
Mhm.
brilliant. The Master gets some good bits in this when he's introduced.
Yeah, I like that he wasn't the villain.
Yeah.
Um,
I quite like it when he's sat down at the start and Barutha is, you are the worst thing we've ever created. Your crimes are without where is it? I wrote it down. Your crimes without number, your villainy without end. And he's just sat there smirking.
yeah,
And he then does the...
because he loves it.
laugh.
He loves it.
It's just like, yes, I am this horrible thing, but you clearly need my help. Go on.
A nice little bit with the Master that I liked. Do you know when the Doctor
Mustache.
says, "Oh, you've regenerated," and he goes, "Not exactly."
Yes, because it's a stolen body.
Yeah, he's just
Mhm.
nicked
Yeah.
Alyssa's dad's body. Because I know we're kind of loosely doing this in, like, order of story or whatever, but
Yeah.
I guess we're up to the bit where they're all in the Death Zone and they're fighting off various things.
hmm
Let's talk about the Raston Warrior robot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful boy.
It's like they call it the
It's
most
a-
perfect killing machine ever devised, and it's like a guy in a
It's a-
helmet and a
it-
It's a
leotard.
Cyberman undersuit from Earthshock.
yeah,
Is it?
Well, it's literally,
Yeah.
it's just like the androids from Earthshock, but painted differently.
Yeah.
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 I find it weird because when you first see it, you think, oh, those spears and arrows and stuff are just being produced by out the arm. And then they just go into the cave and it's like, spare arrows and some
spare arrows.
Yeah, he puts them in his arse, and it's like a magazine. It then goes into his arm, and then
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
say though, like I saw I saw it when it first turned up, and they said it's like the greatest killing machine in the universe. I'm like, all right. But then when it like dispatches those Cybermen, that was actually pretty cool.
He makes a
It's really
Cyberman
cool.
vomit.
He does.
he
It's
throws up. I love that.
Yeah,
It's
that
it's a
vomit
mad
is
scene.
key.
And he like with the way he moves, he just leaps and he's gone. And then you just wait.
Yeah,
for him to go.
he does a little like with his legs
Really
coming up
Well,
as
far
that's
too
well.
many
celebrating. He's
visual
like,
cues
yeah,
for a
let's go.
podcast. Another really, really dodgy bit that they have in this. Back in the Gallifrey Council chambers, when the Castellan is taken away after having the Black Scrolls discovered.
Oh, and he gets taken to the mind probe.
What? Not the mind probe?
Not
Wait,
the
no.
mind probe.
No,
Sorry, I
he
just put
says
more
it-
emotion
yeah,
into
He
it.
says it really weirdly. He goes, no, not the mind probe.
Yeah.
Why are you saying it
Like-
like that? No, not the mind probe.
This is meant to be something really bad, and it's just, no, don't
no.
do that.
I've never seen this casket before. You know, that's one of the bloopers as well. One of the outtakes by Jove.
Is it?
They open the thing and obviously it snaps and it's suddenly they're on fire and they're burning away, and the mechanism of it, something happens and one of the scrolls comes out onto the desk, and then they carry on with the scene because it's like might as well just go with it, and they close the thing. And he's saying, I've never seen this casket before, and he's saying, you better take this to blah blah blah. But the scroll that jumped out is still there on the table, and the fire is rising. And then one of the crew just goes, yeah, we'll have to cut this, put that fire out. You can just see it's getting closer to Davison. It's like, no, don't.
Yeah.
He tries. The guy who plays Barusa tries like putting it out with his like sleeve or glove, and it's like, what are you doing? That's attached to your body.
Your extremely flammable Time Lord robe.
Flammable Gallifreyan robes catching fire. Can't have that. I would have loved like for the next scene, he's just like covered in soot, and they never address it.
Love that the one who, like the Doctor who zip lines across. Of course, it's John Pertwee.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, of course
the
it is.
James Bond meets Father Christmas Doctor.
Like
That
who
probably
else?
wasn't in the
Great
script, it's just
in
like,
this.
right, I need to get to there from here. Let's zipline. I've got to my notes in this bit. I hate this version of the First Doctor because it's not. Having watched the First Doctor, William Hartnell, this is just so different because this Doctor is
Nice.
he's snappy.
Mostly.
Not a racist actor, probably.
He snaps at people
No, he
quite
probably
easily
is. He was very old.
and things like that. Whereas the First Doctor for William Hartnell, it isn't just like, oh, you've done something wrong, well, you're a stupid child, sort of thing like Hundle does. But it's just like, well, don't do that, dear, sort of thing. He does have nice moments, but Hundle's just like, oh, he was a dick most of the time. Let's be a dick all the time.
Yeah, you can tell he'd like barely watched any Doctor.
Yeah.
But it was
Or-
short notice, I guess, and
Or told
And
how
he
he acted.
clearly walked too fast as well.
yeah,
Well,
that's
you're not
really
letting
the
this
deal
go,
breaker
are
for
you?
Isn't it? Sorry, can we just address the William Herndl? Here we go. I knew I'd cock up the name at one point. Richard Herndl's First Doctor is the only Doctor who has pushed a Dalek into a dead end and just hoped for the best and like crossed his fingers.
Yeah, so the Phantoms as well, just to make this even stupider.
Yeah, this was weird.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Like-
Yeti
Oh,
in the cave.
right.
The Yeti? I
Oh,
always
yeah, we
forget
haven't
about
talked
that
about
bit.
the Second Doctor and the Brigadier
Yeah,
in a cave
in a cave and a Yeti and
and a box of scraps.
and
Wrong
the second
film, sorry.
Doctor, the Second Doctor singing the song that they used to the nursery rhyme.
It's off to Wrestlin's Tower
Oh,
we
we
go.
go.
You must choose
Choose
above, between, below.
Yeah, and he's trying to go over it in his head, and the Brigadier just says, "What does he say? You in pain?"
Yeah. Just like all of the crap he's got in his pocket, it's just like yo-yo, bag of
Jelly
sweets.
babies, yeah.
What is it? Galactic glitter.
He's just so much stuff in his pockets.
So much.
Galactic
Does he has less jelly babies in there, doesn't he?
It's just a
Yeah.
bag of sweets, I think.
Yeah, I think
It's
supposed to
probably
be,
jelly
yeah.
babies.
The Phantoms in the Tower. You've
The
got
Phantoms in the Tower.
that
Which
sounds
might-
like a really interesting premise for something.
It was Mike Yates and Liz Shaw, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then-
Apparently it was originally meant to be Benton, but he didn't want to come back because it made the
Amazing.
characters look dumb.
Okay.
I think that's the bit. And Liz Shaw, who I'm pretty sure I can't remember. I've not watched it for a while, but it's just she disappears between episodes, and it's like because she's a unit scientist.
Mhm.
So I think they do explain that. Oh, she's gone somewhere else to work, but it is basically watching it back, and you can't. I may be wrong, but she just disappears between series.
Shipped off to Afghanistan.
Bit early for that, Paul.
Yeah, but it's time travel.
Yeah,
No, it's not. The third
He
Doctor
doesn't have the
with Shaw,
TARDIS.
he has a
No.
TARDIS, but he can't travel in time and space. He has that taken away from him.
Yeah, but he
Also,
can later on, and then he comes back and takes us to Afghanistan.
Anyway,
And then you've got, is it Zoe and Jamie?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, Jamie wearing his proper Highland regalia, and Zoe wearing bubble wrap.
I thought the Phantom stuff was a really interesting way to
Yeah,
like bring back companions, even if you've
Yeah.
not got time to show all of them.
Yeah.
and
Get-
it
and
makes you wonder what they'd have got for Tom Baker when he came,
yeah, I don't
because obviously
know.
he was meant to have Sarah Jane.
Mhm.
So would they have had like
They
the
would've had,
Romanas and Leela?
Rosie Moore.
Rosie Moore, yeah. Thank you.
Rosie Moore.
It's been a long
Oh,
time
no.
since.
You've set him off now.
Rosie Moore. It's been ages.
Rosie Moore.
Yeah.
So I think there's like some with the Phantoms. There are some like light themes of like memory and stuff in this episode.
Yeah,
Because they say something about like their only memories, or and like that's
Yeah.
the reason he figures out.
it's because
Jamie's
they
not
act
real.
different with the Third Doctor as well. It's like, oh, I'll just go get Sarah, and it's like, no, Doctor, I'll go get her, and it's like, no, you would never do that. If I
But-
said I'm doing something, you'd let me do it.
But there's also like the line from like right at the start of the episode that the Fifth Doctor says about a man is only a sum of his memories.
a Time Lord more so.
Yeah,
Great
Yeah.
quote.
I think it's a really good line.
The Fifth Doctor gets some good lines.
Yeah.
People tend to gloss over it.
I quite like the line as well, which we'll probably come to in about a second. The to lose is to win, and he who wins loses. I think is a very nice line.
Yeah, I like
The-
the line, "Hello, I'm Doctor Who" from BBC TV's The Doctor Who.
Yeah,
I like the line from the Master. A little unwillingly, but I came.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
a classic
Oh,
reaction
it's a
image.
classic.
Should we talk about the Tomb of Rassilon?
Yeah,
How
it's a
far
very-
into this are we?
You seek immortality.
That
The-
scene will be better for you, I think, because they make his voice deeper in the special edition.
Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah,
I didn't notice that.
Rassilon has a deeper voice in the DVD.
It's a bit Brian Blessed.
Fucking hell, the George Lucas
It was
make
quite.
that?
Yeah, there's also a massive CG character in the Death Zone that just adds absolutely nothing to the plot.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then the villain says McClunky before getting
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah.
just before we go on about Rassilon, I do like how it's a shit punch, but I do like
Why
how
not?
the Master just backs up
After
and it's just
all.
like, hello again, punches him in the face.
Yes, he just gets decked.
Yeah, I love,
That's how they deal
I
with
love
him.
he's never met
Because-
that master, but he knows exactly who he is as soon as he
Yeah,
sees him.
just-
He's like, I've wanted to do this for a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that sort of goes into it's a horrible twist, but I like the twist. It is horrible, but at the end of that one with Missy and the Cybermen, where it's the Master and he just goes, where it's the Brigadier and it's just like, oh look, it's the Master, shoots her.
Mm.
I want that to be a recurring theme in Big Finish now as well. Whenever they have the Brigadier and the Master, it's just like
He
you
just
must
decks them.
finish it by decking or killing them.
I forgot he shoots her, and then she doesn't die.
Yeah,
No, they explain it in
Let's
which is
not
familiar.
go there.
Anyway,
Yeah, but it's lovely how it's sort of just like, hello, punches him in the face. It's just like, never met you, but I'm gonna punch you.
I don't know. I thought the Tomb of Rassilon set was really impressive.
Yeah.
It's
It
cool.
looked
seemed a bit
really
big for what
cavernous.
was there. Like, you've got the Rassilon lying on his plinth, you've got the altar, just off to the side, and then off to the side again you've got the computers, and then to the other side of the room you've got the teleport
Which is
system.
quite a big. I need to check because it looks like it might have been edited. I'm just going to look at the BritBox version.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That like the old High Gallifreyan is literally just a bunch of Greek symbols.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's old guy.
I think some of it is
it?
a
It's all Greek
mathematic
to me.
formula for something.
It didn't look like it.
It could just be the
I'll
side that
have a-
faces us
If you work it
with
out,
the
it actually just
E
spells
symbol.
like cock in binary.
Yeah. There is a big theory with that apparently it's the Doctor's name.
That's
Why would that be
Which-
there?
nonsense.
Yeah, why
I
would
hate
that be there? That's
Why would it be there?
I've just got the
Yeah.
two versions up here. I think the reason it looks more cut out when they're inside the tomb is because the video on the DVD is much crisper, so you can
Yeah.
see the line where like the set ends and like they've cut it out, and like the stuff they've added in post continues.
Well, you've
Anyway.
got the special release that they've gone in and re-edited to make it look nicer. So,
Mhm.
but
Anyway,
it was a bit annoying towards the end where they just kept cutting between the tomb and the Doctor solving that one, and then the council chamber and Peter Davison just not playing a harp.
Yeah, his hand just like it.
Yes, just very just.
it's
Well,
just
no,
kind of slapping.
you
it,
can't
isn't
see
it?
his hands. He's blocked out, and you can't see the harp or his hands. And it's just like, I wonder why they didn't show him playing the
I would
harp.
just love it if he played like part of the theme tune, like the middle eight. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
On a harp.
So when he does finally get into President Bruce's secret room,
Yes.
I like that he Barusa had to change into his spooky black robes before he could do anything evil.
Yes, with the coronet and
Yeah,
something else of Rassilon.
yeah. It's like, I'm doing evil things. I must put my spooky evil clothes on.
Yes. And then he gets the ring of Rassilon. So
Mhm.
many things in Gallifrey history are of Rassilon.
He made a lot.
Yeah. No, some of them I think are just named after him.
Well, he done a lot for the society.
But it gets to the end with when Rassilon turns up. Why are the founding fathers of Gallifrey just such dickheads? Rassilon Omega, Tecteun, from what we've seen of her experimenting on an orphaned child. Just
I think
dickheads.
they are dickheads, but it kind of, when you look at how awful the Time Lords are, kind of like how pompous and stupid they are, it kind of makes sense when they were that's who their founders were.
Rassilon
Yeah.
was meant to be a good person. He put a stop to the games. So they buried him inside the center of them. But yeah, it's just that if he's the good person for stopping the games, what are their bad people like from that era? But yeah, I guess we'll never know. And then Tom Baker being freed by just waking up in a car park or back alley or something, in my version.
How
With
does
Romana-
How does he
Um,
wake up in the special edition? I can't remember.
I can't remember. either.
I'm gonna check.
Yeah, in the normal edition, it's just like an alien. Romana sticks her head out of the TARDIS, just going, "Come on, then." But yeah, it's really weird because obviously he was on a boat,
Oh,
and you
Paul.
clearly can't be time scooped if you're going under a bridge. But yeah, and then something that never works is a government official using emergency powers. It has never worked well in fiction or reality.
I love that the Doctor just hates being
In
the
charge?
president. Yeah, so he's just like, they're like, "Oh, you're in charge now." He's like, "Oh,
Meet- meet
cool.
you
I
there.
think I left
Wait
the
for me."
I think I left the stove on. I'm just gonna pop. I just gotta run away for a second."
Because then they're like,
Yes,
no,
and-
you should come with us. He is like, I'm in charge of you. Am I not? Right, go there. You can be in charge until I get there. I'll see you in 10. And then he just never goes back. I love it.
That was one of the best moments of the episode, I reckon.
The end.
Yeah, and you get the line which I seriously think he should have just turned a bit and looked straight down the camera saying it, oh, well, that's how it all started then.
Why not? After all. Though actually, just before that, that you guys would have seen on the broadcast, there's the TARDIS, they all walk into the same box, and then
And then
as
the
they
TARDIS
take
just
off,
goes,
they all split off from each other.
Yeah.
However, they made it less good. They didn't ruin it, but it's not as good in
It's,
the special
just
version.
Werewolves
It's
going away, isn't it?
It's the swirly things. Just the what did I think of when I saw them today? Those walnut whips.
Yeah, I do think it's better with the TARDISes disappearing.
Yeah,
As opposed to
it
just-
looks really stupid, but I do like it to see that like it separates and it's like
Yeah,
it's really clear what's happening. Instead, it's just bloody
because that
walnuts.
then sort of makes a bit more sense as to why they all walked into the TARDIS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I don't think they have the Tom Baker waking up in the special edition.
They didn't have it in the one I watched as far as I
Yeah.
know.
They did. Which version did you watch, Paul? Did
Paul
you watch
watched
the
same as
BritBox one?
you, the broadcast one?
The BritBox one.
It is in there. He wakes up in like a back alley.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
it
still
might
on
not be
the
in the
phone.
special edition so that it coincides better with Sharda.
Right.
That might be
Yeah.
the thing that they changed. All I remember is they messed around with the ending and him when he like the scene where he falls over has been they used it differently or they might have gone rid of it so it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's good to know what a time scoop looks like because they're masterful, and I'd never heard of it before.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you
They look like shit. Ed's thoughts. So, Ed says,
And during this bit, I'm going to have a piss. I'm not needed.
See you in a bit.
right,
on, Ed's
so Ed
thoughts.
says,
Are there a lot of them?
just Ed.
Oh.
Ed says, though it's more like the 3.5 Doctors in the end, it's just a lot of fun, a proper celebration of the show up to that point. Nothing game changing, but I don't think it's meant to be. Little touches like Per and Sarah Jane up with the third Doctor is what makes it. The Master is on fine form, and yes, you could delve into that and pick it apart. And I think you do. I think if you do that, you've missed the point. It's just a fun ride.
Yeah, it's a romp.
It's just a bit
that's
of fun.
That's
Ed's
the word though,
thoughts.
isn't it? Celebration. It really is a. Can you imagine watching this? I mean, I know we've got a comment from someone who watched it when they were 10, which is interesting. But that feeling that we got watching Day of the Doctor, it's so funny that like people this long ago felt the same way, and it's the same character. Blows my mind. Hello, Cameron.
Hello. Colby Morris says, honestly, it's a better third Doctor story than anything else.
Yeah,
Um,
he is in it a lot more than the others.
Now, hang on. Does this mean it's a better third Doctor story than anything else that it is, or it's a better third Doctor story than any other third Doctor story?
I disagree.
But what does it mean? Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it means it's a better third Doctor story than it is an anniversary story or a fourth Doctor thing. Obviously.
I think he means it's a better story than anything the third Doctor ever had. Which I don't know if I agree with.
Someone's not watched Inferno.
I have. He's right.
Actually, the Sea Devils was much better
Can't do
than...
this to me. Terror of the Autons. Come on.
No, I do like Inferno.
I'll read Andrew's then, because it's very cool. He says, absolutely brilliant. Paper-thin plot, but perfect fan service. That's right.
Yeah, that's a bit similar to Day of the Doctor as well.
Yeah. I bet Tom really regrets not being in this now. He does. That's why he went on to do the bit in the beginning and end of Dimensions in Time.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to. That'll be a headache to watch and to talk about.
Well, yeah, because I don't think it's been released officially by the BBC yet, and it's only available on
I
YouTube
don't
as
think it
as Noel's
ever
House
will.
Party. He regrets it a bit, but because obviously then it'd be like, It'd only begun for about a year, maybe 2.
Yeah, I think that was why he didn't want to do it, because he felt like it was too soon for him to come back.
It was
Yeah.
too soon, and he also wouldn't be able to do his best Doctor. Like, he'd be having to share the part with 4 other people.
Everyone as well who plays the Doctor is scared of being typecast, and I think now that he was out, he didn't really want to be brought back in. But it's a shame he's not in it. Yeah, I would love to see. It'd never ever happen, but I'd love to hear like a Big Finish version of the 5 Doctors with Tom in it, and like it follow the original stuff. Maybe get David Bradley in as one.
I think that's probably the direction they would go if they did it, but they never would.
Maybe just do it. Maybe
so
do
the
Doctors
6 Doctors.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Interesting.
About Tom, he said he isn't missed though, in my opinion. And as a 10-year-old kid watching this, it was amazing. I hadn't seen any First Doctor stories yet, so I didn't care about Herndl, and still don't.
Got him.
The DVD commentary.
No one cares about
The
them.
DVD commentary with Tennant is hilarious, and it's my favourite Target novel cover. I've not seen the cover for this. It is a cool cover.
Yeah.
What
The
is it,
Target covers are very nice.
That's really cool.
Yeah. If you have any thoughts about any of the episodes we do, then we should probably say what we're doing.
Holy
on, like,
shit, that's
Twitter.
a great cover.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's got that of them standing in a line is so much like that.
Yeah.
Look that gets used everywhere of all.
I love it.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah, we should probably say what episodes we're doing on like the social media and stuff, so we can try and get thoughts on there, not just from this one Facebook group that we're all part of.
Yeah, why don't we
What are we doing next week?
It's going to be the randomizer, unless anyone has any other ideas.
We're doing
We've never done.
No, we're doing it. And
a topic. If you've got a topic,
Yeah,
We'll do it. Well, what topic are we doing then?
Top
well,
5
we
Classic Who.
we'll do a randomizer.
I've
but
not
if-
watched
if
enough
you
Classic
think-
Who to do that.
If you think of I'd love
So-
to do that, but yeah, I'd rather wait till. I don't want it to
all
just be
5
me and
episodes
Cam.
of the Brain of Morbius, and maybe the rest.
Oh,
as
you want to
well
do
as well.
top 5 parts? Okay then, Inferno Part 1, Inferno Part. Anyway,
The War Games Part 1, The War Games Part 2,
the
War
Twin
Games Part
Dilemma
9.
Part 2.
see you next week.
Yeah. So if you want to get in
Social
contact
media,
with us,
email.
it's the Shobocast at gmail.com.
Yeah.
We actually got an email. We got an email this week actually from Harry Townsend.
Thank you, Harry, for all
It
of
was
the
we've all
podcast.
given it
It's really nice. That genuinely made my day when I saw that.
I read that and I thought, someone listens to this
I was amazed someone A listens to it
and has
B-
listened to all of it
and B doesn't want to kill themselves when they listen to it.
and is listening to this right now.
Hello, Harry. Yeah, thanks for getting in contact with us.
Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoy this piece of shit podcast.
And,
At some point soon, me and Paul will have a Shobogan review of
Yeah.
Masterful on his channel, which is Shobogan Who. Link in the description somewhere. I don't know how it works most of the time. I just record it. I don't do anything behind the scenes.
Same.
you don't even record it.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye, faithful viewer and listener.
Singular.
We know who you are now.